everybody, and welcome back to Kino Wars. Do 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 do. Erich, Erich Ren, or is it Kylo Erich? Which one are you?
Let the main channel die. Kill it if you have to.
And of course, I am Poe Mumkeyan. Mumkey Dameron? Which one would what would I be?
You're the black guy, though.
No! He doesn't even get a real name.
MJ 42069.
Yeah, they just call me Mudge.
Mudge.
Before we talk about The Last Jedi, I think to give some context, we wanted to do an Is It Kino about The Force Awakens, but then we didn't do it. So if we briefly wanted to talk about that, because we had very similar views on that film.
Yeah. Okay, so I am a big fucking Star Wars fan, and I was really attached to all of this shit before Disney bought it, and then when Disney bought it, it was just like, oh god, what the fuck's gonna happen? And J.J. Abrams directed it, and I think he cannot make bad movies, but I don't think he can make good Star Wars movies. So when he made The Force Awakens, which is basically just a copy-paste of A New Hope with new characters in it, I was pretty disappointed in that.
Yeah, that was my big gripe too, was that you've probably heard this a million times before, people at home, but the movie is just a step-for-step, story beat for story beat remake of A New Hope, down to it starts off with putting a thing in a droid, and then it goes and finds the main character, and then just every little fucking thing was just stolen
blow up a
from
round
the other one.
planet-killing machine.
Which isn't to say that the movie's bad. I'd say the movie's good. I just dislike it. Yeah. And I think that's something that, as Is It Kino goes on, I think we're going to explore this concept more and more of the movie's good, but I hate it, or the movie's bad, but I love it. I feel like we don't have that kind of nuance often enough. But once we get into the Star Wars shit, I think I'm going to have a lot of it.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, we were both pretty disappointed by Episode 7. Since you are not a fan of J.J. Abrams, does that mean you're afraid of Episode 9 now?
I'll get into that once we're almost done with 8, because I think 8 does a lot of things that fucks over JJ's propensity to just copy shit. So we'll see.
All right. And I cannot discuss this movie without spoilers. So let's just do a 2-minute spoiler-free review, even though everybody's already seen this, and then we'll jump into the big stuff. What did you think of Star Wars: The Episode 8 VIII, the Final of the Jedi Rises?
Yes. So yeah, Star Wars episode whatever, the Jedi are over now.
I just did that joke.
Yeah, I wanted to do another one. And it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it, because now we're still going on about it.
I'm using up my
even
2
now.
minutes.
Even now, I'm not stopping. Yeah, we got to fill up this 2 minutes, because I ain't got shit to say that's not spoilers.
Yeah. So basically, I really love this movie. I can't tell whether it's actually good or not, but I think that it has a lot of thematic relevance, and it really, really impacted me with a lot of the shit that they did in the movie. And we haven't really seen that in a Star Wars movie for quite a while.
I think the big question on everybody's mind is, okay, Episode 7 was a remake of Episode 4. Is this a remake of Empire Strikes Back? And I would say ostensibly, no, it is not.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So if that was your worry, no, this is a very unique, different movie, unlike any of the other Star Wars movies in a lot of ways. It fits a different storytelling method. It mostly takes, I think the whole movie takes place in like less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it has
thanks to some weird. Yeah, so it's a very different. It's not your father's Star Wars movie. So you say you love it.
I'm happy they're doing new shit with this rather than the same old.
Okay, I've got a metaphor that I was going to use for the spoiler talk, but I can actually do it here in the spoiler-free talk.
Oh, cool.
This movie, and you will not find a better metaphor, because I've been cooking this one up ever since I saw the movie 24 hours ago. This movie is like it's not like a movie. It's like binge watching a season of a Netflix show, where the showrunner said, "Okay, Netflix, listen up. I got this great fucking idea for a miniseries. It's going to be 3 really, really great episodes. They're going to be great." And then Netflix says, Oh, okay. Yeah, how about you make that 8 episodes instead? And he says, what? No, I've got 3 episodes of good content here. He said, no, just stretch it into 8 episodes. There you go. You'll make it work. And that's the movie. It's 3 episodes of really, really good content stretched out into an 8-episode season of a television show. Is that fair, E-Rich? Would you say that's a fair metaphor?
I like what you're going for. I don't think I ultimately agree because I think the Netflix shit is pretty egregious with how they stretch shit out and make it unwatchable.
Not even Netflix. I'm saying the vast majority of the movie was shit, but there was so much good stuff in there that I can't hate the movie.
Interesting. Well, I think we'll get into some of the nuance.
We will.
Go into spoilers.
So I guess it's a middling recommendation from me, and E-Rich says, I guess go see it if you like Star Wars.
Wholehearted recommendation from me, yeah.
Okay, let's get into it! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! 3, 2, 1, Kylo Ren kills Snoke! I hope you clicked off the video, because Kylo Ren...
Luke Skywalker fucking
Snoke.
dies.
Well, yeah, I mean, he disappears into dust, and we'll probably see him as a Force ghost or some shit.
He's
so
fucking
he's not really dead.
He's fucking dead.
Man, there's so much to unpack here, E-Rich, and I think the obvious thing. Let's first talk about the 3 good episodes of content in this movie.
Okay.
Which, of course, is everything around Leia, Luke, and Kylo Ren. That's
Rey.
the heart and
Rey,
soul,
Luke,
and the.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, did I fuck that up? What did I say
Yeah.
wrong? What'd I say?
Leia, Luke, and Kylo Ren.
No, fucking Leia sucks. Rey, Luke, and Kylo Ren. I wish the whole movie was focused more on them because all the stuff with them was great fun, and that's where you get the thematic elements of maybe it's not as simple as good and evil, like, you know, the dark side and the light side. Oh man, look how deep and complex Star Wars is for all you fucking nerds. Nah, Kylo Ren says, "Fuck all that. I'm gonna start a whole new side, baby. We're gonna reset the whole Star Wars universe." And I liked that, you know, that aspect of it. What do you think?
He wanted to start the shirtless emo side of the Force. I really love that part of the movie. They make an innovation with the Force and say that Kylo Ren and Rey can Skype using the Force now, which that was pretty good. He slid into her DMs. What's the other parlance?
Sending her topless photos.
Yeah, they signed into AIM and they were talking, and you know how you meet somebody on the internet in real life.
My metaphor was way better than whatever shit you're doing. No wonder why. Hey, speaking of how shit you're doing, I think you're beating Asterios in the co-host thing now, but
that's all I asked for. That's really all I asked for.
Yeah.
Please don't vote for me anymore.
Place. We got to get him first place. I want to see that McNuggy sauce ring. Oh, I want it so bad.
Oh god. The biggest fear is I have no idea how I'm going to dead jump onto the counter. I might need a step stool.
Okay, tell me more about why I shouldn't hate this movie as much as I do.
So you mentioned that you liked the Kylo Ren Rey stuff with Luke. I understand that is the favorite part of the movie. I really liked the Poe stuff a lot.
Oh my god! I didn't think that somebody's personal opinion could make me violently, physically upset.
Yeah.
But you just pulled it off.
Why?
How the fuck? Everything with Poe and his little Chinese girlfriend was awful.
No, you're talking about Finn.
Awful.
You're talking about Finn. I'm talking about the pilot guy.
Yeah, but the Poe leads into that, which just sets up the dumbest fucking plot in Star Wars history.
Okay.
The movie is 70% awful filler, and it's all thanks to Poe, Finn, and Chinese girl.
Okay.
I think her name's Rose.
Poe's arc in this movie is that, well, basically, I can sum it up with a Christopher Nolan quote. It's somebody get this hothead out of here.
Yeah. He's
a hothead.
His arc is he starts off as a wannabe Han Solo, and then he becomes a guy who thinks once in a while, and that's his arc. Yeah.
No, but I like that for him because he is just the go-get-em pilot in the first movie, and that's basically his character. He's just this cool guy, but this movie actually saddles him with some actual consequences for his actions. He gets into a very quick battle in the beginning of the movie, which ends up killing most of their fucking bombing crews. And like, I like to see people faced with their actions and saying, basically, you are irresponsible. You are doing this shit because you think you're a big hotshot hero, but you're not. You're killing people. And basically, it's better for us to save our own people than to kill their people. And I like that lesson, and I like that. And that also echoes into the Finn Rose stuff as well. Where
I like story arcs where characters learn lessons. I like themes in a story. What I don't like is awful storytelling and terrible pacing, and when my movie turns into a live action cartoon. Those are things I strongly dislike. And 40% of the movie is the good stuff with those three characters I mentioned. 60% of the movie is, you got an episode of Friends style terrible misunderstanding plot that leads on the dumbest space adventure of all time, with characters that are terrible, and a big cartoon 30-minute sequence of horses running through a casino, and it's as bad as anything in the prequel movies. And I seriously mean that.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make you shit your pants and explode out of your mouth.
You agree with me?
No.
Oh.
I liked that part of the movie.
Oh.
Because it reminded me of the prequels and just the crazy batshit insane parts of the prequels. I really liked it. I love the casino planet. I just love the idea of this.
Oh my god!
It's a fucking.
Why are you
city.
doing this to me?
It's a city just designed to be for the super duper rich to go there and fucking throw money at shit. I love that Rose gets there and she's this like middle class, lower class worker, and she's like, "This is all disgusting. These people are awful." And Finn is just overcome by, "Oh, it's so glamorous and shit." But then they look and you see that. Not only are these people war profiteers and they're selling shit to both sides, they're also abusing animals. And like, I love what this movie does with animal rights, where you've got about 4 different groups of animals, and basically depending on how the animals are treated is whether you should like that grouping. So the fact that you've got the stable kids who are basically being whipped by this guy, and then the Fathier space horses are being whipped too. I just ate it all up. I love it. I love Star Wars.
I think the problem is that this movie is the longest Star Wars movie.
It is.
2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that stuff, I just made me think, when are we going to go back to the stuff with Rey and Kylo? If you would have, it's okay to have this dumb, pointless subplot that doesn't add anything to the story in the movie, like, because you got to have these characters do something. You introduce, all these characters in the first one, and then the second one, you have nothing for them to do. So you make up some dumb subplot that literally does not impact the story because it was just a misunderstanding. Because some dumb bitch who took over for Leia didn't want to tell Poe the truth, and then it sets off fucking an hour and a half of bullshit.
Okay, I also
it's okay
like
to do that
part
stuff, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be half the movie. It could have been 20 minutes, and you could have got the same points across that, it's bad to whip horses. And
I also
bad
like that
to
part
be
of the
rich.
movie because it once again subverted my expectations. Because when this Tumblr-haired old woman played by Laura Dern, a great actress, comes onto the scene, I just think this bitch is going to be terrible. She is going to be such a hateable character. I am just going to be like so pissed off.
I still do hate her. What are you talking about? I still hate her.
He was fucking right. There's a mole in their operations. You can't be telling everybody your plans if it's being leaked to the fucking First Order the entire time. If they know exactly how you're jumping to hyperspace and all that shit. So you can't tell people the plans, and you have to keep these people who are fucking desperate for any kind of resources. Everybody's being killed all around you. It's fucking desperate times. So, like, this woman who steps up and takes control because Leia fucking did a spacewalk and now she's in a coma.
Yeah, that was the cringiest, worst part of possibly any Star Wars movie I've ever seen. At the beginning, Leia gets blown up and shot into space, where she freezes to death and dies, and then uses the magical power of the Force to Superman fly back into the ship and come back alive only to collapse and die again, but then be brought back to life when really they should have kept Leia dead because now the actress is dead. So they fucked themselves.
They've done a great job of killing off all of the actors that are actually alive and keeping alive the one actress who is dead.
Yeah, they really wrote JJ into a corner with that one.
Funny how that works. Monkey, the part
What
where
did you think
Leia...
of the terrible, ugly CGI of Leia using the Force to fly through space?
I loved it. I thought it was magical.
My audience was groaning in disgust.
Oh, really?
These are Star Wars fans who went to the midnight showing premiere.
Yeah, I loved it. It's very split down the middle. People either really like it or really hate it. And everybody I was with really loved it. But I've been wanting to see Leia actually use the fucking Force for forever. Because she has technically the same abilities as Luke should have, and she's never goddamn used except to like say, "Oh, I know where Luke is because I can fucking magically find him." Yeah, I loved this part. It was for me the culmination of, I don't know, fucking 15 years of me being like, "Oh, well, Leia should be able to use the Force too because she's sisters with Luke." It was great.
Yeah. They could have done that in any way that wasn't her being able to survive the vacuum of space and then flying with terrible CGI.
All right. You can survive the vacuum of space for about 40 seconds to a minute, and she's a Jedi, so she can survive for longer. I don't know why everybody thinks like 5 seconds after you're out in space, you fucking die. It's wrong.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done.
That part was retarded.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think that, and
But you know what? The impression I'm getting is that all the shit that I thought was retarded, you enjoyed, and the instinct people have is to, on the internet, like, oh, I gotta prove him wrong. I gotta prove that my opinion's better than his opinion. But what kind of a cruel, heartless monster would I have to be to try to convince you that you didn't actually have a good time and that you don't enjoy the thing you like?
Well, it would be only fair because I really lambasted you for liking the Emoji Movie, so I should have just let you like
Not everybody's as evil as you. Not everybody's as evil as E-Rich. I think it's fair for us to have different opinions without butting heads, without having a Kino war about it.
So you're saying that I am the Kylo Ren and you're the Rey, and you're just trying to do
you want me to join you in destruction and pain, and I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the part that you probably really liked when Kylo and Rey teamed up to fuck up Snoke.
I did like that.
Yeah.
However, Snoke might be the worst written Star Wars character in history. Mm-hmm. Worse than Hayden Christensen in Episode 2.
No.
No. Listen. Listen up, you motherfucker. Episode 7. And here, let me ask you a question, because I don't know. When they're planning this trilogy, did they get like a team of 20 people to plan out the story beats for all 3 episodes, or are they doing these one at a time with no idea where they're going?
They have no idea where they're going.
Latter.
Yeah, they have no idea. They basically go to the next person and say, okay, what do you got?
That's not good storytelling at all. It provides a unique experience, but for the overall trilogy, that's fucking awful.
But that's why I love this movie. Because it basically
really shows in this movie.
It takes everything in Episode 7 and it just says, nope, fuck all that. We're doing our own thing now.
I mean, subverting expectations is fun, but it doesn't automatically equal good, especially on a storytelling level where the message of the movie is literally, fuck everything else that has ever happened in Star Wars. We're going to do something else.
It's about time. It's about time that happened.
It's a refreshing take, but on a storytelling level, on a narrative structure level, I mean, you're a learned man. You've been to college. Don't you know a thing or two about how storytelling works and that this is retarded and backwards?
No, but here's the thing. When you've got a character like Snoke, who is not a character at all, he's the CGI monstrosity that they strap circus into.
But in Episode 7, they're building him up to be the next fucking Palpatine. He's such a mysterious, dark, evil figure who Andy Serkis in interviews said he's more powerful than Palpatine and Darth Vader combined. Why would they even give him that information when he's just like, he's the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, where he's just a joke, evil character who they're building up in all these trailers and shit for no reason, because then they just kill him off in a second.
No, but you build him up so that when Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, is actually the villain, which he is now, Kylo Ren now has all of the development that you need for him. So like
Yeah,
going into this,
he's the only character in the movie with development. Snoke becomes the most one-dimensional fucking garbage character I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie.
I just shared this on Twitter. Kylo Ren is the best villain in movies for the past like probably 10 years.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's great. I said those are the only 3 good characters in the whole movie.
But that's why like the shitty storytelling as you see it is me saying, okay, well they're just putting all in to these good characters that they can actually build up.
Yeah, to the detriment of every other character though. I don't think that's a sign of good storytelling, is that you make 3 characters so good that every other character is just one-dimensional and shit.
I mean, that's kind of what Star Wars is. I mean, it's a bunch of shitty background characters.
I never said Star Wars was good.
That's true. That's true.
After this movie, I don't even think I like Star Wars.
I mean,
like, the first 2 movies are like good movies, but everything else about it, I think I just don't like.
As a Star Wars fan, you have to accept that basically only 1/3 of the movies are actually good. Like,
that seems fair.
If you have any kind of sense of quality, you go into this knowing that most of them are not good.
I don't know, man. Snoke was such a disappointment that it was an unexpected twist that, you know, he was killed by Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. But even the way they executed that was so hokey and cheesy of him.
Oh, I loved it. Okay, so here's the thing. Fucking, like, every time in this movie they try to repeat shit from the other movies, they subvert it. So as soon as Snoke goes on his Palpatine-type rant, and he's got the saber right next to him, just like Palpatine had the saber right next to him, Kylo uses that to his advantage and fucking, like, ignites the lightsaber right there. I love shit like that. I love it.
Yeah, but even the dialogue was just like so ham-fisted, like he's about to kill his one true enemy and he's gonna stab him with the lightsaber right now. Oh, it was me. It was hokey and it was too campy for me. I don't know.
That is Star Wars. Star Wars is camp. When Palpatine is on the fucking Death Star, he's having a grand old time. He's fucking laughing. He's fucking like, I can't believe this all worked out. It's the best.
Rich, what did I text you last night to ask if you had seen this movie?
I don't remember.
I said, when are you going to see the new Marvel Wars? And you know why?
Yes.
Because these aren't being made like Star Wars movies, like the classic old Star Wars movies. These are Disney bought this and they're making more Marvel movies out of them. The quips in this movie are fucking outrageously terrible, cringy. It made my skin crawl how bad they were. I like Poe Dameron. We both know that I would suck Oscar Isaac's dick. I'm really happy that him and his Ex Machina co-star, whatever his goddamn name is, Domhnall Gleeson. I those two in Ex Machina, I loved them so much, and when they got cast in Star Wars, I wanted them to have a scene together. This movie, the opening scene is them having a little banter back and forth, but the quips that Poe Dameron is throwing at him, he says, like, he's making jokes that don't even make sense in the Star Wars universe, pretending he's like a telephone operator saying that he's putting him on hold, and then he says he's gonna fuck his mom. What? They don't. Do they even have cell phones or phones in the Star Wars universe that putting you on hold is a joke that even makes sense?
This may be the one thing I completely agree with you on, because I was like cringing a lot of the way through this movie because of the heavy joke per minute.
They won't let a scene be serious. They have to plug in some dumbass Marvel-esque quip every 5 minutes. You can't even enjoy a serious scene without them ruining it with a joke. The one moment of attempted levity that really got to me as being great, and that I've seen a lot of people complain about it on Reddit, but I was like, no, that's the moment that I fucking loved, is when, and this whole scene is great. It's one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars from what I've seen. It's when Luke is fighting the forces all alone, and they fucking blast him for a full minute with weapons, and then he walks out of the dust and he like scuffs his shoulder.
And he brushes his shoulder off.
It was so great. Like, that's the one time I laughed out loud in the theater during this movie.
In a testament to Jay-Z, you gotta get that dirt off your shoulder. That was
Yeah, I've been talking a lot of shit, but I want to talk about the 3 Netflix episodes worth of great content that are in this movie.
All right.
And oh man, the most beautiful shot, the most amazing, it's going to be every Star Wars nerd's desktop background for the next 2 years, is that over-the-shoulder shot of Luke staring down all these giant evil robots that he has to fight. And you know what shot I'm talking about? The most beautiful shot in the movie?
I mean, I know the one that he's silhouetted against, so it's like the sky is like yellow or orange or something, and it's his silhouette, and you see all the giant like silhouettes of the big walkers and stuff like that. Is that the one?
Yeah, he's like staring him down.
Yeah.
It's an intense, beautiful, and just it gets your blood pumping because it's so gnarly looking.
Yeah.
I want to watch that scene again because it was great.
It is seriously great. The way this movie, so basically the movie starts and Luke Skywalker is he's over everything. He's just like, fuck this. I'm not a Jedi anymore. Fuck off, Rey. I don't want to see you. Take your bullshit somewhere else. And basically he is eventually won over, including a really weird scene with Yoda that I could not pay attention to because it was just like, holy fuck. It's Yoda. Also, the Yoda puppet looks fucking weird.
Yeah, they intentionally avoided doing the prequel CGI and went back to the traditional puppet Yoda, which is a choice that I was okay with. I was like, you know what? Maybe as Yoda ages, he looks more like a puppet, and maybe it makes sense in universe. But that didn't bother me. I thought it was a nice callback.
But the thing was, like, I don't know whether it was they were clearly trying to do this, but he was very clearly a puppet, and like they almost didn't give a shit that people could easily tell he was a puppet. Like, it's almost the level where I could see somebody's hand sticking up Yoda's ass, moving him around. But yeah, I mean, it was so crazy. I couldn't even tell what was going on in the movie because I was just like, holy fucking shit, it's Yoda. But Luke is eventually won over. There's a couple great moments that I was initially like, oh, fuck this movie for doing this. Where it's the Rashomon thing where they tell the story of how Kylo Ren went bad for good.
And they show fake flashbacks.
Yes, and that's a great choice, and that's something that Star Wars has never really done before. But I really thought that Luke pulling the lightsaber on Kylo Ren, young Ben Solo, that was a bridge too far. Like, basically, Luke Skywalker, his defining moment is throwing the lightsaber away and saying that I am not going to fight. I am going to win my dad over with peace and love and understanding and be a Jedi.
Right.
And him picking up this lightsaber as soon as he suspects that his nephew has gone to the dark side, that is so against. But
have you seen Mark Hamill talk about this?
Yeah, basically he said they really fucked this character up.
Yeah, he said he disagreed with every single decision they made about Luke Skywalker for this movie, but since he's an actor and it's job, he just had to go with it. And he said he wishes they would have asked George Lucas for advice because he hated it so much.
I initially completely agree with him, but as I see the movie play out, I am on board with it. Because here's the thing, Luke was never a good Jedi. He's always a shitty version of the Jedi. He didn't do much training with Yoda. He just flipped over a bunch of rocks and floated some rocks, and Yoda told him about the Force and shit. So in that moment when he fears the worst, that Vader could come back in some way through Kylo Ren, through this nephew, through basically his best friend's kid, and just that thought, and basically just for a second, he lets that through and lights that lightsaber up, and he said instantly he knew it was a mistake. That line that wins it over for me. And then, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say why I'm also okay with this, because the original Star Wars trilogy takes place over like the course of 3 or 4 years, maybe?
Yeah.
And that's all we know of Luke Skywalker is those 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. This movie takes place 30 years later. If we saw that much growth and change in Luke Skywalker's character in those first 3 movies, imagine how much the man has changed and grown and decayed over the last 30 years. So I'm fine with him not being the exact same character from the original movies, because that would be completely unrealistic. I can see him, as an old man, he becomes a little wary and paranoid about, this Ben Solo, who is the most powerful fucking guy he's ever seen and has darkness growing in him. I could see him having a moment of weakness.
Yeah,
so yeah, I was
exactly.
fine with that too.
And also, he can't be all good all the time, or else it's just not. It doesn't feel right.
It's not like a realistic character.
Yeah.
It's more like a Snoke.
He's allowed to he's allowed to slip up very slightly, but here's the thing,
it's like having a tragic flaw or something. Maybe the Greeks should put that into their stories.
Who knew? Basic storytelling. But but fucking yeah, just that one moment is enough to fracture Ben that much that he basically goes down this dark path and slaughters all of his. He fucking Columbines the Jedi Temple. And
I saw somebody tweeted they rewrote like the opening lines of Elliot Rodgers' manifesto, but to make it fit Kylo Ren, and I wanted to retweet it, but I didn't want to spoil the movie too much. This soon, so maybe I'll go find that in a week and retweet it because it was really fucking funny.
So and then here's the moment when this movie became one of the best Star Wars movies ever, probably in the top 3. Probably not as good as Empire Strikes Back.
Not that hard to be in the top 3 best Star Wars movies. That's true.
Probably not as good as A New Hope. However, the moment when Luke Skywalker steps out into Crate with all of these First Order walkers and all this machinery, and they all fire at Luke Skywalker, and he's still there, and he's facing off against Kylo Ren.
Yeah, my favorite moment.
It is basically Luke Skywalker doing the impossible, being the hero, being the hope. The first movie is called A New Hope. This movie exemplifies that Luke Skywalker is
They should have called it A New Hope.
A newer hope. The newest hope. But that's the thing, is Luke Skywalker is able to stall this entire huge military apparatus so that his friends and his allies can escape. And he does it without firing a single shot, without swinging a sword, without doing any of this.
Because he's not really there.
No, exactly. And like, that is such a cool trick. And I'll have to watch the movie again, but people have said, like, so basically the planet is covered with salt, and underneath the salt is like this red dirt. So whenever anybody walks, you can see a red footprint go into the dirt.
It makes it so much more visually appealing, and it's
Absolutely.
like it adds to the beauty of the scene. It looks really cool.
But you'll see in this fight when Kylo is fighting Luke, and Luke's just a hologram, basically an astral projection. But when Kylo is fighting him, Kylo is making all these smudges in the ground, and the red is going everywhere. Luke does nothing. Like, Luke is not there at all. That is such a great fucking visual. Like, Rian Johnson just has mastery of visual language. Yeah.
Yeah, another thing I didn't even notice till towards the end of the scene is that Luke has the same beard from when he was younger.
Yes,
and then when it's like, I was thinking, like, did he dye his beard before he came to meet up with Leia? What the fuck? He looks way younger now.
No, but he's also using the lightsaber that they destroyed earlier.
Yeah, why did he choose to astral project himself as a hologram of his younger self?
Because the younger self is the strong Jedi that they fear, not the beaten up, old, rotten guy that is. But basically, it is that. It is he has found a way to recapture his old self, the self that will strike fear into the bad guys, give hope to the good guys. And then the movie ends, and so I had read all of this shit online before I saw it. And so the movie ends with a scene where some of the stable boys that we saw earlier in the movie, they're being mistreated by their master or whatever. One of the stable boys is telling the story of Luke Skywalker facing against all this army and basically just being the hope. And he very quickly, like, you have to really see it in the movie.
Everybody in my theater saw it because they all gasped.
Okay, yeah, this little kid very subtly pulls the broom to him with the Force, and then he holds it aloft like a lightsaber. Luke Skywalker is his hero. He's inspiring this whole new generation, and the movie ends there. And that is such, like, I got chills. I was in tears partially because it is the ultimate iteration of Luke Skywalker. He is the hope for this entire universe, and even though he's dead now, even though he's gone, he has served his purpose. He has not been able to fully bring the Jedi back, but he has given hope to everyone, and I just adore that so much.
Yeah, I thought that the ending was a nice little cherry on the half shit Sunday of the movie.
Yeah.
It seems like it would have been a better like finale
To the
ending
entire
scene.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, rather than like a middle chapter ending, because then you have the question of, well, so does the next movie, is there going to be a big time skip and we're going to see like these kids
There should
grown
be.
up or
I think
what?
there should be. Maybe not the kids
Really?
grown
You want
up.
to see like Ray and Finn and all them like in their 50s with makeup on?
No. It should be like a 3 or 4, like basically between the original trilogy movies, about 3 or 4 years passes. I'd say
Yeah.
between 8 and 9, they should have maybe 3 or 4 years pass.
Yeah, probably, because this movie, like we said, takes place over the course of one day.
Yeah.
And like that, I'm not
And
going to bash the movie for not
Mhm.
feeling like a Star Wars movie because I was also begging for it to be different. But it seems less like a big grand space adventure when it happens just in a day.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is, The Force Awakens took place over a very short period of time, and this movie takes place right after it. So like,
Yeah,
all of these events happen so goddamn quickly.
yeah. We waited 2 years for like to see what happens the next day.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I adore so much that this movie does. I have to watch it again to like, I don't know. Maybe the jokes will work. Here's the thing. Star
No, the
Wars.
the jokes will not work.
Here's the thing. Star Wars has always been, you're saying all this ridiculous space shit, and most of the time the actors are just fucking like trying to get through it. So like Han Solo, Harrison Ford famously said, "You can write this shit, George, but you can't say it." So basically, most of the time when Harrison Ford does a line reading, he's just like,
Yeah,
"I get through this. Read my lines. Boring conversation anyway.
yeah.
Show it
Isn't
again.
that
It's
just
out
the
of
Han?
here."
But it adds to the Han Solo character is that he just doesn't give a fuck and he doesn't believe in the hokey religion anyway.
Mm-hmm. But basically the Poe saying, trying to get in touch with Hux in the beginning of the movie, I think that could work if I see it slightly differently, because
Yeah,
it is not the
I'm
way that
okay
I
with him
think.
being a cheeky guy because he's trying
Mhm.
to like distract him and just like give him shit. But like making a yo mama joke at him and
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, I'm on hold. It's the operator. I'm on hold." And the guy's like, "Oh, hey, can you hear me? I can hear him. Can he?" It was very Marvel tier
Uh,
schlock,
did
terrible
he
jokes.
did he say this big ass door at some point at the very end?
Yeah, I was okay with that one.
I I like that for some reason is out of bounds for me. I don't know why he can't
Mm,
say ass, but
yeah.
huh.
Well, we've gone on about this one a long time. I guess should we wrap it up with our final thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just reiterate what I've said before. There are so many amazing scenes and sequences and shots, such beautiful, intense, amazing shots in the movie.
We
But
ruined them all for you.
unfortunately, I no, I love all that stuff. I wish that the movie was 90 minutes because there's so much filler, unnecessary bullshit, and the entire Rose character doesn't need to exist. She was terrible. She was so terrible. I don't know what they were thinking with that character. I guess they wanted to break the boundaries of having a black guy and an Asian romantic relationship because that's never happened in a movie before. There's so much shit in the movie, just rotten shit, but so much great stuff with those three core characters somewhere buried in that shit. So it's if you've enjoyed Star Wars so far, of course you're gonna see it. You have to see it. Just don't expect it to be as great as like Empire. I wouldn't say this is the Empire of this trilogy. I'm hoping the third one is going to be the good one because this movie, over half of it was bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is one of the better Star Wars movies. Not up to the level of Empire Strikes Back, not up to the level of New Hope. I think it is partially doing the best it can with a bum hand. J.J. Abrams created some decent characters in The Force Awakens, but he put them all into situations that were pretty contrived to be exactly like they were in the original Star Wars trilogy. What Ryan Johnson does here is really subverts putting them into those same situations because he twists it every time. Every time you think you know what's going to happen, something twists, and it does not end up the same way. And he plays that well with the characters. He plays it well with the environments. I love almost every place we spend. There's a great scene in this movie that's completely silent where the purple haired Laura Dern character basically fucks the shit up of this giant Star Destroyer ship, and using some kind of hyperspace trick. These new movies have used a lot of hyperspace tricks. I don't know why, but that
because
moment,
they're fan fiction, E-Rich.
that's true. Yeah.
These are literally fan fiction. If it's not being written by the people who wrote the originals, it's being written by the fans 30, 40 years later.
Yeah.
We're watching just the highest quality Star Wars fan fiction imaginable. That's why they're just throwing in hyperspace sing trick here, and it's I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way that they are going into this, writing them one movie at a time instead of having like a vision, and that they're writing fan fiction. It's crazy to me.
Here's the part where I reveal my power level.
Oh no!
I have read every single Star Wars book.
That can't be possible.
There's
thousands of them. How the fuck?
Every fiction book I've read. I'm not gonna say I've read every single one.
There's non-fiction Star
Wars.
There's
plenty.
Books?
There's all about the makings of the movies and all kinds of shit. And I've read a lot of those too.
Yeah, I'd be okay with reading that.
I have seen a lot.
Because that's interesting.
I have seen a lot of Star Wars content, and there is something about this movie that gets me going and strikes that right Star Wars chord, because Star Wars is not just straightforward science fiction stuff. It is also campy. It is also cheesy. It also makes you cringe sometimes. There's plenty, there's plenty of stuff here because it's based on Flash Gordon and Old Republic serials. Now, I'm not talking about Star Wars Old Republic. I'm talking about Republic serials. And those things were not always good. Those things were sometimes bad.
E-Rich, have you ever heard the argument, I was only pretending to be retarded?
Yeah. Why?
No reason. It just popped into my brain.
Oh, man. But I think Star Wars always deals with odd quality shifts. Some of the parts are going to be better than others. That's just a part of it. I think The Last Jedi accomplishes a lot on a thematic level, on a design level. I love basically the look of this entire movie, basically.
Oh yeah, it's Rian Johnson knows how to get a good looking shot.
Definitely. I have a soft spot for a lot of the prequels. I can say without a doubt that they're terrible movies. However, I like them as Star Wars.
It's like movies. I said, we can say a movie's bad, but that we liked it, and that's okay.
Yes. But here's the thing. I think The Last Jedi is a good movie. I think that the prequels are bad movies, and I think The Last Jedi is a good movie. And I think that it does enough with the characters and enough with the look and just basically everything. This is the kind of Star Wars that I will come back for repeatedly. If you told me that I had to watch The Force Awakens and shit like that every year, I would get tired of it. But if you
I've got good news for you, E-Rich.
I know.
Rian Johnson, or is it Rian Johnson? Is it Ryan?
Ryan, yeah.
He is, and you already know this, but in case anybody in the audience doesn't know, he is directing an entirely new Star Wars trilogy under his belt, which I am excited for, because what rubs me the wrong way about this one is that he is jumping into the middle of an already established story, and he fucks with it in ways like with the Snoke stuff. Like,
yeah.
If this was a grand vision, that doesn't make any sense. But if he has complete creative control over an entire trilogy, his own story with his own characters, that could be pretty cool with, breaking, subverting expectations and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that trilogy. I think this one, it's going to be, they better do something real cool in episode 9 other than, Rey has a lightsaber fight with Kylo, and then he becomes a good guy at the end. Which is what's going to happen. And spoiler alert, that's what happens in the 9th one. So
I think that Rian Johnson has fucked with this enough, and I think
that they can't redeem it.
No. I mean, fucked with in a good way. I mean, J.J. Abrams set it up to be very plainly Star Wars all over again, and Rian Johnson said,
but JJ's directing the next one. He's gonna fuck it. He's just gonna go back to stereotype tropes and fucking garbage.
Unless he resurrects Snoke and has fucking Kylo.
I hope he does. I hope Snoke comes back as a Force ghost and he's actually a character. He's the most powerful Force user ever. Bring him back as that. That'd be great.
I actually wouldn't mind a Force ghost battle between
Ghost
Luke Skywalker and
yes. There you go! That's something we haven't seen yet. The ghosts just stand around talking bullshit. I want to see him fucking fight. Hell yeah!
Maybe Yoda could come out of nowhere and strike him with lightning.
Every dead character should come back as a ghost and fight. Oh my God. Episode 9 should just be like a Hunger Games of ghosts, and they're just fucking fighting for the fate of the galaxy. There you go. I wrote the movie for you
to see that. I think JJ knows that. So I think JJ very clearly knew what he was doing with episode 7. and he knew that he was remaking.
Yeah, he was getting
shit.
a big fucking paycheck.
Yeah, he was basically saying everybody hates the prequels, so we're just gonna make Star Wars again so that people like Star Wars again. And I think he understands that that's not necessarily the most creative thing to do. I'm hoping he makes a good movie with Episode 9.
You're anew hoping that he makes a better movie.
I am, and I think Force Ghost Mark Hamill can do a lot. Yeah, I'm hoping that they can close out the trilogy well. But yeah, Rian Johnson's trilogy is such a sweet, succulent fruit, especially after I'm coming out of this one and being like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, well, I love Rian Johnson too. He directed the single greatest episode of television in all of history.
Fly?
Of course, I'm talking about the Fly episode of Breaking Bad.
God damn it.
And then also the fifth best episode, Ozymandias of Breaking Bad. But that Fly episode gets me every time. There were no flies in this movie. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, he also directed Brick. I would recommend seeing Brick and Looper. Yeah, and Brothers Bloom. So see all Rian Johnson's movies.
Yeah, he's a good old boy. He didn't do nothing except make a subplot that made me want to gouge my eyes out.
Yeah.
Hey, we could talk about this all day, but we're not gonna because this is already the longest Kino episode yet. So for Is It Kino, I have been Mumkey Jones.
And I've been Erich. See you around, kid.
And we probably won't be back until maybe next year because I'm gonna be out of town for like the next week and a half. And I won't be able to film shit. So what's coming out at the end of the year that we can review?
The Guillermo del Toro Waterman.
Oh yeah, The Shape of Water. Yeah.
Yeah, blind girl fucks a waterman.
It fucks the fish. Yeah, I can't wait.
Man. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we'll see you for that probably. Bye.
Bye-bye.